Hello class 8. Now we'll begin a new chapter, that is chapter number 5, and we have the circulatory system in chapter number 5. Okay, let's talk about the circulatory system. All right, as you all know, the circulatory system being consisted of mainly three different things there. Okay, that is the heart. All right, then blood vessels, which are again of three types. They are arteries, veins, and capillaries. All right, and circulating fluid, which are of again three types. They are blood. Okay, they are what? Blood, which is mainly found in the heart, in the blood vessels. Then we have your tissue fluid, which is between the cells in organs. Then we have lymph. Then we have what? Lymph, which is found in the lymph vessels. Okay, or lymphatic systems, like you see, our tonsils out here, and also spleen. Okay, these are the places where lymph is present. Okay, so that means circulatory system is a system consisting of the heart, blood vessels like arteries, veins, and capillaries, and the circulatory fluids like blood, tissue fluid, and lymph. All right, and this system, which means the circulatory system, is responsible for transporting the different things from one region of the body to different regions of the body. That means from one region of the body to the target places. Okay, so that's the main purpose or the responsibility or the function of your circulatory system. Okay, so why circulatory system? I was telling you it is for transporting the different things. What are the different things being circulated by this system? Let me give you some points in this regard. Let me give you some the materials being transported by this system. Number one, let me tell you, your digested food materials, the food which you eat, gets digested there in your digestive system. Okay, the completion of the digestion takes place there in small intestine. So after the digestion, okay, the digested food materials will be absorbed there in small intestine yourself. So after absorption, the food needs to be taken to the different cells of the body, to every cell of the body. Okay, so taking from this digestive system to every cell is done by the circulatory system. Okay, like your blood, lymph, all those are there. Carry them to those cells. That is one. Second, you see respiratory gases are there. Okay, respiratory gases are like oxygen and carbon dioxide. So oxygen, that means when you take in air. Okay, when you breathe in air, so from the air, oxygen is picked up by the hemoglobin present in RBC of the blood. Blood means a component of your circulatory system. Then is taken to the cells where it is utilized for oxidizing the food to release energy, which is called respiration. Then after the respiration, carbon dioxide is again collected by hemoglobin and is brought back to the lungs, and from the lungs it is again thrown out. So this taking from lungs to the cells and from cells to the lungs and out is again done by the system called circulatory system. So in the same way, there are many other waste products, many excess water is there. All right, excess water is there, your excess salts are there. All right, then some nitrogenous waste are there like urea and all. So they are all to be thrown out of the body. Okay, they are all to be thrown out of the body. So taking them to the places from where they are thrown out, like kidneys or some other organs involved in the excretory system, is all done by your circulatory system. Okay, beside this, hormones are there, which you have recently finished. So hormones are produced by the endocrine glands. So from those regions where the hormones are produced, from those regions the hormones are to be taken to the different regions where it can perform their functions, So taking from those regions to those regions where they can perform their functions also is done by your circulatory system. So these are the reasons why we need circulatory system out here. All right, so this is your circulatory system. As you see the diagram here, what you find out here is, which is also given there in the book. See, this is lungs. Okay, just to make you understand. Actually, the lungs or the heart are not in this shape, but just to show you. All right, which is also given there in the book. See, this is lungs, this is heart, and here you see the blood vessels. Okay, blood vessels. So from here to here you find pulmonary vein. All right, and from heart, from here, okay, which is coming out of the heart, is your arteries. Okay, or artery, similar form is artery. Okay, and the other side, which is in bluish color, you see here, from here to here you see veins. All right, then from heart to the lungs is your pulmonary artery. What is that? Pulmonary artery. All right, see, what happens is that heart is a pumping pumping part of the circulatory system that pumps the blood. In fact, the blood is, the movement of the blood, okay, or circulation of the blood is actually regulated by the heart. Okay, so this heart actually has 4 chambers. All right, in case of human beings, there are 4 chambers in a heart. All right, so the upper portion is, if you see here, okay, we want to make it into the 4 chambers. See, this is your what you call your auricles. All right, auricles, both are auricles. Okay, right auricles and left auricles. In the same way down there, ventricles, right ventricle and left ventricles. Okay, auricles and ventricles. See, then from here the veins and arteries are coming out. See, so let us see here. Suppose the blood which is regulated from here, from the heart, first receives the pure blood. Okay, oxygenated blood. See here, this is in this color to indicate that the blood which is flowing out is pure blood or oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood means blood rich in oxygen. Okay, after the purification is coming from the lungs by the pulmonary vein, okay, into the heart. All right, pure blood. Okay, pure blood after the purification is brought to the heart by pulmonary vein from the lungs. All right, then that pure blood is taken to the different parts of the body by these arteries, another blood vessel, okay, which carries the pure blood from heart to the different parts of the body, okay, which is shown out here. Then here you see the blood capillaries. So here, that means this blood can flow through the capillaries. Okay, then after the use of the oxygen from that blood, from the oxygenated blood, the blood will again pick up carbon dioxide. Then the blood becomes impure, which means blood becomes rich in carbon dioxide. So that deoxygenated blood, now it is now deoxygenated blood. Okay, so deoxygenated blood rich in carbon dioxide, is collected by now veins, collected by these veins. Okay, collected by these veins and are brought into the heart again. Okay, are brought into the heart, and from heart it is again sent to the lungs. Okay, it is sent to the lungs by this pulmonary artery for purification. For what? Purification. Okay, so that means, let me tell you once again, see, for your understanding, you need to understand it, which is even there in class 10 syllabus. All right, see, the lungs, after the in the lungs, why the blood is taken to the lungs is for purification. So once it is purified, that pure blood, means pure blood rich in oxygen, is taken to the heart by your vein, pulmonary vein. Okay, pure blood will be carried by pulmonary vein to the heart, and from heart that pure blood will be taken to the different parts of the body by arteries. Okay, then that impure blood, after the respiration in the cells, the blood becomes impure because of carbon dioxide, and that impure blood is also called deoxygenated blood. Okay, deoxygenated blood. Okay, deoxygenated blood. So that deoxygenated blood will be carried by the veins and brought back to the heart again, and from heart it is taken to the lungs by pulmonary artery for purification. So in the same way, there you find the the flowing of the lymph. Another, that your fluid substance is there. Another, that your circulating fluid is there, which is called lymph, which I have discussed before. See, that is flowing now through this lymphatic duct. Okay, here, and after it goes here. See, so looking at this schematic diagram, what you see is that the blood in human beings is flowing through the closed vessel, from the closed vessel, regulated by the heart. Heart is the one which regulates the flowing of the blood. Okay, circulation of the blood is regulated by heart, and that circulation of the blood is taking place through the closed vessel, not open. All right, so since it flows through the closed vessel in case of human being, this system is called closed circulatory system. Okay, it's called what? Closed circulatory system. Closed circulatory system. Closed circulatory system. All right, closed circulatory, since it is flowing through the closed vessel, they are all pipe-like vessels through which the blood flows, through which the lymph flows. Since it all flows through such closed pipe-like structure, pipe-like vessels, the system itself is called closed circulatory system. As against this, in some creatures like insects, the blood flows through open spaces, not like this through the vessels, but it just flows through the open space. So this kind of system where the blood flows through the open space is called open circulatory system. Open circulatory system. Okay, open circulatory system. Open circulatory system. Okay, so closed and open circulatory system, which is found in insects. Okay, so that's all about the closed and open circulatory system, which is also there in your book. Okay, and for making you understand all about closed and open circulatory system, I have to draw this schematic diagram. All right, so now let me draw this schematic diagram here now. Now let's go to talk about the composition of blood. Composition of blood. Composition of blood. All right, so blood is mainly composed of plasma, which is about 55% to 60% of blood. All right. So see, 55 to 60% of blood is composed of plasma. That's a fluid part of blood. Fluid part of blood. Okay. Then second one is your what do you call it? Corpuscles, blood cells or corpuscles, blood corpuscles, consisting of 40 to 45%. That means 40 to 45% of the blood consists of blood cells, which are of three types. They are RBC, which is also called erythrocytes. All right. Then WBC, which is also called leukocytes. Okay. Then third one is your platelets. All right, which is also called thrombocytes. See, blood is composed of mainly these two things, that is blood plasma. About 55 to 60% of blood is composed of plasma, is a fluid part, and other one is your blood cells, which are three types: RBC, red blood cells, whose other name is erythrocytes, or another name is erythrocytes. WBC, white blood cells, whose another name is leukocytes. Then third one is your platelets or thrombocytes, which is about 40 to 45% in your blood. So this is how your blood is composed. All right. So now talking all about your blood plasma only. Talking about blood plasma. Blood plasma is a fluid part. So 55 to 60% of blood is composed of plasma. So your plasma is a pale yellow color or yellowish fluid part of the blood. Okay, yellowish fluid of the blood. Yellowish fluid part of the blood, composed of many things there. Okay, it is composed of water about 90 to 92%. You find water in the composition of plasma. All right. Then you find proteins. Even you find proteins. Proteins you find about 7 to 8%. Okay, protein you find 7 to 8%. All right. Then even you find some other substances, like you see inorganic salts. Okay, inorganic salts or inorganic substances, like you see sodium chloride, okay, or sodium bicarbonate, about 1%. See, inorganic salts are also present there in the composition of plasma. Let us see. First, we talked about the composition of blood. Okay, that is plasma, and that your blood cells. Then talking only about plasma, we are talking about plasma. What is plasma? Plasma is a yellowish fluid part of the blood, and this plasma, if you see the composition of the plasma, you find water. 90 to 92% of plasma is formed of water. Proteins you find 70 to 8%. Then your inorganic salts like sodium chloride, sodium bicarbonate, that is 1%. Then other substances. Okay, then other substances, traces, that means little amount of other substances are also present there. So what are other substances there? So other substances include your glucose. Okay, you find even glucose there. You find amino acids. All right, glucose, amino acids. All right, then you find proteins like fibrinogen, all right, or even hormones, etc. So these are the things that you find in the composition of plasma. All right, so now we'll see the your blood cells. Second one is your blood cells. RBC. As I've told you, RBC is also termed as erythrocytes. All right, erythrocytes, and RBC is a biconchic disc-like structure. Okay, is a disc-like biconcave. It's something like this. Okay, disc-like, something like that. Is this kind of structure it has got. Okay, biconcave disc-like structure it has got. All right, then this RBC, contains a respiratory pigment called hemoglobin there. It contains hemoglobin there. Okay, RBC contains a respiratory pigment called hemoglobin. Because of the presence of this hemoglobin only, your blood is red in color. Why is blood red in color? It's all because of hemoglobin present in RBC. Okay, so what does that hemoglobin do then? The hemoglobin present in RBC does a very important work out there. That is, carrying the respiratory gases. Okay, it transports the respiratory gases there in the body. Okay, so respiratory gases means respiratory gases. Okay, respiratory gases, that is oxygen and CO2, carbon dioxide. Oxygen and CO2. See, oxygen, when we inhale air, all right, so that time the air is rich in oxygen. So that air rich in oxygen going to lungs will be picked up by the hemoglobin present in RBC, okay, and is taken to the different cells of the body. So using that oxygen, the respiration takes place there in the cell. After that, carbon dioxide is produced, which is again picked up by this hemoglobin and is brought back to the lungs, and from lungs it is thrown out. This is what your hemoglobin does. Okay, so that's the very important function of RBC. All right, then your RBC, this RBC is present, see, in the male, in adult human male, okay, in adult human male, your number of RBC is about 5 million in 1 cubic millimeter of blood. Okay, that means in 1 cubic millimeter of the volume of blood, suppose there is a container whose volume is this 1 millimeter length, 1 millimeter height, 1 millimeter breadth. Okay, volume will be 1 millimeter into 1 millimeter into 1 millimeter. All right, so volume will be 1 cubic millimeter. Suppose in this container the blood is filled. So in that volume of blood, 5 million of RBCs are present. Okay, 5 million red blood cells are present if the blood sample is taken from the adult human male. Whereas in case of female, it is 4.5 million. Okay, so that's the counting of RBCs in the blood of human beings. All right, then your RBCs survives for 120 days. The average lifespan of RBC is 120 days. So after that, the the RBC or the red blood cells will die. The old RBC and weak RBC will be destroyed. They're in the liver, they're in the spleen, and even in bone marrows. All right, so this is how this your RBC you find playing its role there in the composition of the blood. Second we have WBC. Second we have WBC. Okay, WBC. Okay, this is RBC we have finished. Then second we have WBC, white blood cells, which are also called leukocytes. I've told you already, this is also called leukocytes. This RBC, WBC, white blood cells are less in number than RBC. Okay, the number of WBC is less than RBC. Okay, RBC is more in number and WBC is less in number, but the size of WBC is bigger than RBC. Okay, you just have to understand this one. And the main function of WBC, so your WBC, the shape of WBC is almost oval. Okay, it's oval shaped cell it is in fact, and its function is to defend the bodies from different kinds of diseases. That means this is directly related with your immunity. Okay, it just strengthen your immunity. To immunity means capacity of the body to fight against the diseases. Okay, so your WBC is the one which fight against the diseases. So how it fight against the diseases, how WBC improves your immunity, there are two ways. Okay, there are two ways how WBC protects you from the different kinds of diseases. Number one, what it does is that it engulfs the germs. Okay, it engulfs the germs and digests the germs. Okay, one way. That means it slowly engulfs the germs and digests it. Okay, that is one way. All right. The other way is that it so one way as I've told you, it engulfs and digests the this one the germs, so that your germs cannot be active there inside because they are all killed by WBC. Second, the other way is that WBC produces a kind of chemicals. Okay, a kind of chemicals which is called antibodies. Okay, antibodies. The kind of chemicals the WBCs produce, which are called antibodies, and these antibodies kill the germs. So this is how it is related with our immunity. Okay, it improves our immunity. So it fights against the germs. And third one we have is platelets. We have what? Platelets, which are round in shape. Okay, your platelets are round in shape, and these platelets are the ones which actually work on clotting of the blood. Okay, on clotting or coagulation of the blood. Blood is clotted because of platelets, so that it prevents us from the loss of blood. Sometimes what happens is that we happen to cut our fingers, happen to cut the different parts of the body accidentally. So that time what happens is that blood may be lost, blood may be going out. Okay, so but if we have got the platelets, good number of platelets there in the blood, or normal rate of platelets there in the blood, then what happens is that these platelets develops a kind of clot on the cord region, so that it blocks the flow of blood, so that the blood does not get lost. Otherwise, blood will be flowing out, and because of the excess loss of the blood, we may be dying. Okay, so that's the main function of platelets. All right, so this is all about your blood and the blood cells. Okay, today we'll do only this much, and we'll continue in the next session. Thank you very much.